Cinco de Mayo, every bar is at capacity, even if it's on a Monday night with everyone having the beat.
Balcony or Fatties, any of those areas, you can call yourself a professional when it comes to the bar industry.
Yes. No, I got some experience.
What do you think are the busiest days of the year downtown?
Well, so I mean, obviously and also I'm going to cover too what people think is the busy nights that aren't the busy nights. So your busy nights are going to be Cinco de Mayo, your New Year's Eve, the first Saturday that it hits 85 degrees.
Okay. That's one I didn't think about.
No, it's Boise. People love the weather in this town. If it's too hot, they stay home. If it's too cold, they stay home. When you have that, but after you come out of winter when it's snowing all the time, first time it hits like 80 degrees, patio season is open, baby. Like the sundresses are out, the short shorts are out, like everyone's going out.
It's college town.
Yeah, I mean,
major college town.
Yeah,
people,
no,
it's not necessarily 6th and Main being the college portion of like the main.
No, that you're going down to your suds and end zone for that, but no, your big night, like the biggest night is still always going to be New Year's Eve. And then you got your Halloween. Mm-hmm. St. Patrick's Day, honestly, is kind of hit and miss in this town.
This year it was. You got to base it off every other year. No, same. So
No, I'm saying outside this year it was dog shit because
we can't.
Everyone went out. Everyone went out this year for St. Patrick's Day with the idea that the bars are going to be closed.
Right.
And so, but every other year, like a Thursday St. Patrick's Day, great. A Tuesday, maybe. The one I do want to talk about that's kind of weird though is Mardi Gras. Fucking sucks here. It is horrible.
Fucking terrible, dude.
So when I was working at the Balcony Club, we put real effort into having like a freak parade and having a big old party, and we were giving out the beads. We had prizes. We had drink specials. Like 50 people showed up.
Versus Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo, every bar is at capacity, even if it's on a Monday night with everyone having to be to work at 8 a.m. the next morning.
Some trouble always happens on Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo is crazy. But so, I got stories for you on Cinco de Mayo. But so we come in and like for Mardi Gras, we're like, working at a Balcony Club. It's an LGBTQ friendly club. We're very open.
Right.
Anything goes. Like, let's just have fun. And me and my manager at that time put together a really fun party, and no one came. And then we went and took a tour around town, and Hannah's did good, but that was the only bar that did good. And it's good for Hannah's. Like, great.
Like Hannah's always does good on small holidays, no matter what the holiday or the occasion. It's
come on, if you throw sex toys at people, it's gonna work.
They do good, man.
Like, and especially for a party like Mardi Gras, getting an Adam Eve sponsorship for Mardi Gras it's clutch.
One of the things I can say about Hannah's is they have a very prominent turnout every time. So like no matter what the day is, what the event is.
No, they always crush. Busy. But so in this town, which
China Blue doesn't, which it's just kind of an interesting.
They own Mardi Gras, and it's interesting, but because you go down the south and everyone's doing it, but here it is such a hit and miss. And I think it's probably because somewhat early in the year, and then you compare like Mardi Gras, where we want something to happen, but we can't make it happen, to Cinco de Mayo. Obviously not this one because this one sucked, but. A year ago, I was the resident DJ at Amsterdam Lounge, and David Munson hits me up and he says, "Hey, you're gonna play tonight at Cinco de Mayo." I was like, "Obviously, I'm gonna be there." He says, "What time are you coming?" I was like, "Okay, like usually Amsterdam gets popping about 10:30." I was like, "It's Cinco de Mayo. I'll come in at 9,
right?
And we'll light it up." And I was like, "Okay, you're gonna go down to Reef where you also work, and you're gonna have a cocktail, and then you'll go down to Cinco de Mayo and play the party." So I just jumped out of the shower. I'm getting ready to go. And I get a call from David, and he's like, shit's popping off, dude. He's like, it's fucking lit, and everyone wants to know where the goddamn DJ is. And this is like 5:15.
Right.
5:15. I'm like, what do you mean people are wanting to know where the DJ is? How many people are there? And he says, I'll meet you down there. We're going to get you set up. We're going to go. So I come straight down there. It's 5 o'clock on, what was it? It was a weird day. It was like a Sunday or something.
Right.
No, it wasn't a Sunday, but it wasn't a weekend. And I come down to Amsterdam, and there's like 200 people there at 5 o'clock. At 5 o'clock, there's 200 people there for Cinco de Mayo. And as soon as I started playing, it just pops off. And I think that night I played a 9-hour set.
Damn.
Played a 9-hour set, you know, and David said, like, this is a long set. He says, thank you for coming in early. He says, have fun. There's Coronas and tequilas for you. I was like, great. This is great. And then I found out later at Reef, like, we planned minimal staff because we were just like, you know, it's a weekday. Who's going to show up?
Right.
Good God. I think my bartender sales were like 3,000, 3,500 solo.
Dude, Cinco de Mayo when I was
that shit's unreasonable.
That's why it sucked. This whole COVID shit.
They literally on that in 2019 Cinco de Mayo, no one had a break at Reef from 3 p.m. till 1 a.m.
Fuck.
It was at capacity for 9 hours.
That is so fucking like straining.
It's ridiculous, and I'm glad it happened. Obviously, it's good for business, and everyone had a really good time.
It's like being somebody who works at an Irish pub like Halfpenny on fucking St. Patty's Day.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, let's have more parties like that. Mm-hmm. It kind of fascinates me that that's the big one here, you know. And I mean, there's obviously
and then New Year's and Halloween. But actually, I think to me, I know you know numbers more than I actually know anything. But Halloween seems like the biggest day. The biggest day. Dude,
you know what we pray for as bar management for Halloween is like a Wednesday or a Thursday Halloween.
Because then you get Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Oh, no. If you play it right, you can do a Halloween party the weekend before Halloween. And then you get an extra big turnout on Wednesday, Thursday when Halloween is. And then the Saturday after is another Halloween. So you can
many days of just costume party.
You can turn if you get a Wednesday or a Thursday, you can turn Halloween into 3 or 4 days. And you know what? I know y'all around here in town. You all have 4 costumes. I'm not even mad about it. If you have 4 costumes, I'll give you 4 Halloween parties.
I'm so impressed with people who can show up to a Halloween like week like that with different costumes every time. Like I'm the kind of person like. I love Halloween more than any holiday ever, but I'm not the kind of person that is planning my fucking Halloween costume the day after Halloween ends. You know how some people are like that? Like the same day the fucking Halloween is over, they're thinking about their next year's costume. I'm just kind of like, what's relevant to right now and funny? You know, and this year I did Drunken Thor from the Avengers, the washed out Thor who was
no. Okay, you were there with me as Scooby-Doo. And I'll be honest, I worked like 2 parties and went to 2 parties, and I wore the same onesie to all of them because, in my opinion, I can't beat Scooby-Doo. And what I'm really nervous about this year, so okay, I'm let me not get this wrong. I'm not just nervous about Halloween. Obviously, I'm nervous about everything and health is being affected. I really want Halloween for this year for one reason. I want to see Carol Baskin and Joe Exotic.
Oh, everywhere.
I want to see that. I want to see the Trump costumes making him look like an asshole. I want to see the Carol Baskins, the Joe Exotics, Joe whole life, you know. Right. Like in high school, we used to go wakeboarding 3 times a week. I kayak, I whitewater raft, I paddleboard. And all these activities, you didn't necessarily always have a life jacket on.
Right.
But one was like, you know, you could reach and just grab your life jacket. You go to the Boise River and there's just gallons of Tito's and not a single fucking life jacket in sight. And I see that. I'm like, I feel like
it's a hazard, man.
I was like, we could do this better. I'm not even saying you have to wear it. Just have one near you. You know, if you're going to get drunk on a river with undertows, what is the issue with having a life jacket near you?
Dude, it's literally the most dangerous time you can have while fucking having a blast. Like it's not like snowboarding where you get too drunk, you know you're too drunk, you're like, I should probably not go on another run, I'm gonna go to the lodge. Like, no, you're just all of a sudden fucking blacked out and you're still on the river, leaving your fucking life in the hands of somebody else who's blacked out drunk with one paddle, rowing in a fucking party raft with 7 other people on it that if you fucking take the wrong ass turn or the wrong ass section on a rapid, because there's 3 or 4 rapids on the Boise River that aren't bad, but
they're hardly rapids. But if you're drunk without a life jacket, they're actually all of a sudden they become more interesting.
They're situational. They're very situational.
Well, say because I've done like class 4 rapids in a kayak.
And they're nothing. But
wait, class 4. No, class 4.
And they're a lot, but
those are a lot. But I also had a life vest on, and I was 100% sober because they were
compared to the class 4, the Boise Rapids, they are nothing.
No, they're not even sure. I don't think they hit class 1.
Exactly. Like they're.
But if you're drunk and not wearing a life jacket, it's just the dynamic is so fascinating.
Exactly, and it's all about how you hit them, because the Boise Rapids on the Boise River, whatever you want to call them, the Boise bumps, the Boise fucking concrete slabs that they left in the middle of the fucking river when they were doing construction, whatever you want to call them. People, regardless, float the river constantly and go over these fucking humps, bumps, and rapids and don't know anything about what they're doing when they go over them and cause themselves bodily injury beyond belief.
Actually, it's funny. So one of my bosses the other day, he went for his first float trip and he was doing those concrete slabs where it has a 3-foot drop and he pinned a raft on a rock. And he's just like, Andy, it sucks so bad. We were stuck, couldn't do anything. And like someone else jumped out of a different raft and pushed him out of it. But that's like, it was so simple, it was just the stupidest thing. He's like, yeah, we go over and all of a sudden we're pinned on 2 rocks. There's just water flooding in and we don't know what to do. I was like, bro.
Dude, it was
you need help. There's a way to do it. You gotta center up on those babies right there. You gotta center up. You can't be running the sides.
It was always a matter for my situation of alcohol.
Well, see, I think he was buzzed, but he wasn't drunk. It just speaks to like the Boise River is super fun, but it's like the unknown scary killer of this town.
And it's also like the unknown factors that nobody puts into play. Like how many unexperienced floaters do you have with you? How many people are actually going to paddle? How many people are just going to sit there?
Yeah.
And that's a lot of things you don't think about when you go, especially when you have like a 5-person party raft, where.
Oh yeah. And again, I totally support this idea of floating the river. And I think it's one of the best things you can do in town. It's amazing. It's just comical to me how much non-safety is applied to it. How many people who have never done any sort of aquatic or boating affairs in their life
or don't even know how to swim will go on a raft. No, they will.
No. And if you're not know how to swim, go to Costco. It's $60. Get a Hyperlight life jacket. That shit is comfy and it'll keep you afloat. I got one and I can speak to it.
Just don't hit your head. You'll be fine.
Oh no, you hit your head. It keeps you propped out of the water so you don't drown.
There you go. Fuck. Dude, Mr. Clements, we have officially reached close to the longest time of a podcast that we've got. Close to. I think the longest was 3 hours to 2 hours and 30 minutes. We are at 2 hours, 11 minutes. Is there anything we've missed, haven't covered, skipped, forgotten about, overlooked that you want to bring onto the show?
I mean, honestly, at this point, I got a closing statement. I can be ready to run.
Dude, let's do it.
Okay. I mean, hey, it's Andy Clements, Mr. DJ Brochacho, Mr. that guy with the beard, Mr. that douchebag you've seen, but you don't know why you know him. If there's one thing I can leave you with tonight, like, it's 2020. It's a dumpster fire. Life is so hard right now. I get it. Everyone is stressed all the time. What I can only give to everyone else is just keep loving, keep trying to understand, keep reaching out to those in front of around you who you care about. And eventually, you know what? We'll get through this together as a team. But until then, all we can do is radiate positivity, live with each other, and try to make the best out of our situations. DJ Brochacho, Andy out. Have a great night, everybody.